Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at a time guesser. This is the puzzle that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. We'll be given a photo. We'll be given 5 photos, in fact, one after the other. For each one, we have to say, where in the world was it taken? That tests your geography. But it also, you have to say, when in history was it taken? It could be anywhere between 1900 and today, basically. So you get more points the closer you are in both the year and the location. And we're trying to score as high as we can. Obviously, it's out of 50,000 because there's 5,000 points available for every question for each of history and geography. If you want to play along at home, just leave your guesses in the comments and we'll see how we get on. This is David Cameron. So I'm assuming, the trouble here is this could have been last week, but it's more likely to be when he was Prime Minister. So he was definitely Prime Minister in 2016. So let's just go 2016 as a starting point. We'll be within a few years, surely. This is the flag, I want to say, of Mongolia. And in fact, yes, I think this is Cyrillic for Mongol something. That's M-O, that's probably an N in Cyrillic, that's a gamma. So that I'm thinking Mongolia is a pretty safe bet. And if it's going to be Mongolia, then it's going to be the capital, surely, isn't it? Ulaanbaatar. I think Mongolia is one of those places where it's incredibly densely populated in the city and very sparsely populated everywhere else. So let's just go there and hope that we're vaguely close on both points. Oh, it was 2024. That's annoying because I said it might be during a point where he wasn't Prime Minister. It might have been last week. It wasn't quite last week, but it was pretty close. But at least I got a lot of points for location. So I got basically 3/4 of the available points. That's not too bad. But let's see how we do on the next 4. This one will probably get less than 3/4. That's my first instinct. What does this say here? I think that's Dutch. So I think I'm definitely going to go somewhere in Holland. What year do I think? There's quite a lot of cars over there, but they're all pretty old cars. Trouble is, whenever it's a black and white photo, Den Haag, by the way, definitely in the Netherlands, so that's definitely where we're going. Whenever it's a black and white photo, I kind of mentally assume it's before 1970, but we have had black and white photos that have been in 1985, I think, so it could definitely be later. I think, let's go 78, is that crazy? No, let's just go 80, it's a nicer round number. And then, where do we want to go? Can we find Den Haag? I need to zoom in a bit more, but the trouble is I don't know where in the Netherlands it is. I just know that it exists, because they've got a football team. All of my geography knowledge comes from sport. How can I not see where Den Haag is? I don't really know how big of a place it is. I've heard of it because they've got a sports team, as I said, but it could actually be quite a tiny place for all I know. Don't really want to spend ages just looking at a map, because if I just plonk it in the middle of the country, I'm going to be pretty close. But I am pretty annoyed that I can't find it. Let's just do one more zoom in just to see what we learn. Where are you, Den Haag? It is definitely in the Netherlands. Oh, maybe Den Haag is Dutch for The Hague. I've literally never put 2 and 2 together before. I've heard of this football club for so long. Let's just go in The Hague, okay. That would make some kind of sense, wouldn't it? Oh, it's 89. I said it could be much later, even if it's a black and white photo, but it was in The Hague. Only 1,200 metres away, very close on the location. So we got about 3/4 again. How bizarre. Right, what's going on here? This is Flag of an African nation. But which African nation? That's the question. Black, green and yellow. I mean, that's African nation countries or something. I can't remember exactly what it stands for. It's definitely Africa. Oh, what on earth has that flag? I don't think it's a country that's qualified for a Football World Cup. Because as I said, all of my knowledge comes from sport. I feel like if this was Cameroon or Togo or Morocco or any of the ones, Algeria, Tunisia, any country that's qualified for a Football World Cup, I feel like I'd recognise it. Right, let's do the year first. Again, this could have happened last week, but it looks like it could be a bit earlier in the 2000s, so let's just plonk for 2008. Right. I don't think it's going to be North Africa. I don't think it's any of these. I mean, it could be Burkina Faso's flag or Benin's flag. I don't think it is. I feel like I don't think it's any of these North African countries, but it's definitely not South Africa either. It's not Kenya or Zimbabwe, I don't think. So, let's just go for South Sudan, because it's pretty central. I'm not convinced it is going to be South Sudan's flag, but even if it's not, hopefully we'll be vaguely close. Do you agree with my tactics? Let me know. It was 94, it was much earlier, and it was South Africa. That's not their modern flag, is it? That is, yeah, African National Congress, but it's, yeah, South Africa's transition from apartheid to democracy, so I guess they had a different flag at some point. Or maybe that's just the flag of the ANC, so it's not the flag of a particular country. That is annoying, because I knew it wasn't South Africa's flag nowadays. Not too many points for location, which is a bit frustrating because I was in the right continent. But anyway, we'll move on. What on earth is going on here? I mean, I feel like I should recognise these places. For all I know, this could be London. I feel like it's more likely to just be some random European place. It's a very old photo though, and I mean, he's looking in binoculars. He's got a hat on that makes me think he's a soldier. I'm gonna go 1915. No, let's go 1914 because there's no war damage in the photo, so it's more likely to be towards the start of the war. Although it started in, did it start in September? So it still could be 1915. I'm going to go 1915. I'll be very annoyed if it's 1914, but at least I'll still get loads of points. Also, it could be the Second World War. But where am I going to go? I don't recognise this cathedral or whatever it is. That's the problem. I guess I'm just going to go Paris, because then I'm kind of covered if it's London, and I'm not that far away if it's Berlin or Milan, or even if it's somewhere in Poland or Hungary or Eastern Europe. I'm not going to be a million miles away. We'll go Paris and hope. Oh, it was the Second World War, and I thought it might have been St Paul's Cathedral. I said it could have been London. I just wasn't certain. It just looks different nowadays, and also I've never seen it from the top of a building. But that is a reason why I did go for Paris, because I thought I might be close, even if it's not the right city. 1941 though, that's annoying. I just got the wrong war. Frustrating. Not that many points. So we'll forget that and we'll move on again to question 5. What is going on here? Woodstock Festival, Poland. Right, so I'm definitely going to go Poland. RBB, that's just the name of the radio station that she's with, presumably. Yeah, I mean, they're all wearing Woodstock t-shirts, aren't they? That is definitely looking Polish. Przystanek? I mean, Polish is difficult to pronounce at the best of times, but when I can't even see half the letters because of the font they've used and the quality of the photo, that makes it even more difficult. I think that says Przistanek. Now, does this say 20th of the 7th to the 1st of the 8th, 20 something? I think I'm going to have to go in the middle of the 2010s, because I think that is what that said. Is this t-shirt? No, that's clearly not clearer. Clearly not clearer. Great logic, or great sentence structure. I mean, that could easily say 2016 or 2010 or something like that. Let's go 2015. And then where do we think it is? Am I going to be able to find a place called Przistanek? We'll zoom in on Poland. I mean, I've heard of places called Przezież. I can't pronounce them, but I've heard of them. I mean, this could be anywhere, couldn't it? That's the problem. How much do I have to zoom in before they show me this? The problem is, Poland's an even bigger country than Netherlands, and it took me ages to find Hague in the Netherlands. To be fair, that's mostly because I was looking for the Dutch name and not the English name. Right, what are we going to do here? I don't know. So, let's just plonk for... I mean, I guess we just go for Krakow because it's pretty central. It's probably not exactly spot on, but hopefully we'll get enough points. Oh, it's 2012, that's a bit annoying. And where was it? This is where it was. It's in a really small place. Okay, so I would have had to zoom in quite far before it cropped up on the map. Oh, that's just because it's not in a city, it's in a field. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. 287 miles. I got over 4,000 out of 5,000 for the location. I'm not too disappointed about that. And it means I got 8,600. I think that was the best one out of the 5, although arguably it was the easiest one because it literally told you the year and the location, sort of. So how did we do? I did get over 30,000. That is definitely not my finest attempt, but 60%, that's still a pass, isn't it? I usually aim for at least 2/3. 37,000 seems to be my most common score. So this was a bit of a poor attempt, but I feel like some of these were tricky, or maybe I just had an off day. Let me know what your thoughts are. How did you do? Were you criticising some of my guesses? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.